Welcome back. So e-hailing drivers are demanding that the Tshwane municipality stop impounding their vehicles. The protesters say they want to comply, but a backlog in the issuing of operating permits is affecting their livelihoods. Some have even been fined up to 6,000 rand, while others had their vehicles impounded. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala has more.
The Pretoria CBD was gridlocked on Thursday after e-hailing drivers decided to bring their grievances to Tshwane House and the union buildings. The bone of contention is a massive backlog in the issuing of operating permits.
They actually want the permit from us, saying that in order for us to operate, we must have permits. But they are not issuing those permits. That's the problem that we are having. Now, we as drivers were asking ourselves, how do you want us to comply, but you don't give us a paper to comply? So that's the main issue that we are having. That's why we were pleading with them today. They must stop the impoundment of our cars with immediate effect.
You get pounded by TMPD, you are going to pay 3,500. You are pounded by provincial and national, you are going to pay 6,000. If you don't want any of those, you are going to have to pay a bribe of 1,500, negotiable to 500 rand, of which that's not a solution. Because how many times are you going to get stopped in traffic? There's a clear agenda here against the e-hailing drivers and owners, whereby every street where you drive, there's national, there's provincial, and there's TMPD. We are targeted.
The drivers say they want to comply, but the city of Tshwane needs to come to the party.
The companies did not ask the drivers to come with permits. There was never a requirement for permit from the companies themselves, Uber, Bolt, and InDrive. So now when government says, no, there's a fifth one that's missing, which is a permit, we say, okay, can we go to the permit office and get permits? No, they've closed down the office.
Siyalimala each and every day. Ingane zethu ziyalamba, imoto ziyathathwa. We are in debt because of this issue.
The city of Tshwane agrees that there is an outstanding backlog.
There were thousands and thousands of backlogs in terms of the permits that are supposed to go out. I think that's where our officials have been found wanting, and I know that when we engaged with the MEC, we had then agreed that through the crisis committee that she has established, that's where we'll deposit most of the issues there, and we see how we quickly resolve those issues.
E-hailing drivers felt unheard, so they brought in Build One South Africa to help their plight.
I then took the liberty to speak to National Department of Transport, the acting DG at the time in December. I spoke to the MEC here in Gauteng, and I also spoke to the Mayor of Tshwane and the MMC as a go-between, an intermediate to saying people are unhappy. They have been coming to you again and again. There's a memorandum you've not responded to. Why must we then have to stand up and do videos and go on social media and do all sorts of things, handstand, for people to be heard? When we then said we're going to come alongside you, we're going to make sure that your voice is heard, that's where we are today, and that's how we find ourselves here today. They are all blaming each other, to answer your question.
E-hailing drivers have given government 2 weeks to respond to their grievances. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I am Nqobile Madlala in Pretoria.